Welcome to The Missive, a GURPS Cold War adventure actual play series starring Ingrid as San Francisco private investigator Melody Hendricks,
No, I have not been drinking, Mr. Sullivan, unless you slipped me something again.
David as medical doctor and FBI informant Dr. Colin Sawbones Sullivan.
You see, the problem is I think it would be a little waste of alcohol, because I don't think you'd be able to keep it down. And that's alcohol abuse.
Taylor as White Ivory Industries bodyguard Frank Washington.
This reminded me of Paul's boat.
Cletus as hedge fund investor Reginald Reggie Thomas.
I assure you, I know what I'm doing. Like, it's not my first time around a pistol.
Jamie as UC Berkeley sociology professor Jade Callan.
Did no one else think of this?
And me, your GM and host, Brett Calhoun. Please note that this series is set in the 1960s Cold War era and may have language and behaviors that are emblematic of its time. Listener's discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You guys will pull into the parking garage area of Limestone Tower. And one of the bellhops will approach and immediately recoil at the sight of you guys.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah, it's been a long day for us too. If you don't mind, could you fetch Willard? We need to talk to him. That'd be great, thanks.
Is he
He
here?
runs away.
Is Mr. White in Lima?
That's a good question. I'm sure we're about to find out. And sure enough, after a few moments of you guys getting out and probably helping Reggie out, you see security guards approaching with guns in hand. And
Anyone have anything to?
The cavalry has arrived. And
one of them says, "Who are you guys?"
Professor Callan.
what the fuck do you mean you don't know who I am?
Does this guy know who I am? I feel like there's a good chance he would know who I am, since Frank is literally Willard's bodyguard.
Do you have reputation or anything like that, or?
Well, I mean, no, because it would only be like Willard's employees who would know, I guess. But I would think that the security of the hotel Willard has been staying at would know who Frank is.
I mean, you haven't been to Peru before, though. Like, these guys are they're flunkies that live here.
Mike,
This is at Limestone, yes?
Yeah, we met
Yes,
Frank at
Mike.
Limestone.
How
Yeah,
many soldiers in the United States Army know you by sight? Like,
I'm right, but Frank was at Limestone Towers for like at least a day. And
yes,
like,
and you've come back covered in blood and mud.
Jade's
like
gonna
a
run up
goddamn hero.
there.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, you look fucked up. Like, you
Mike.
don't look like how you left.
Yeah,
Like,
Jade's gonna
Boy,
run up
I
there.
swear
and
to
kinda-
God, if you don't put that gun down, I'm gonna have your job so fast your head's gonna spin.
Hold
Are they
on,
American?
Frank,
Surely
knock
Mr.
it off.
Thomas has some kind of identification.
No, these guys are Peruvian. However, since Frank spoke to one guy in English, it's clear that his mastery of the language seems to be best. And he says, before you start making any threats, I recommend that you calm down, sir. What is happening? What is going on here? Who are you all? I recognize you, ma'am.
Yeah, we all are friends with Willard White. We ran into some trouble on the way back here. We're really just trying to get inside and get cleaned up and see if is Willard still here?
I need some alcohol is what I need. Now.
One thing at a time. Let me sort this out. You fetch their things. Get them to a room. And he starts speaking in rapid Spanish to some of the others, and they nod. He says, "I will go alert his secretary." For
Can I
now,
detect eyes on him?
yeah.
By the way, name's Frank Washington. If you recognize it, you probably should.
Yes, thank you for that advice. I am sure that I will. However, currently I am much more thinking about many other things.
Oh, Willard's gonna be upset with you, boy.
Sullivan,
Tell you what.
Knock it off.
he might be buying a ploy here.
I do not remember us.
I just said that I remember some of you. I remember Professor. It was Cullen, I believe, and I remember the Asian woman. Although now there appears to be two of them.
You don't remember me by any chance?
You say
Also-
from the car lying down.
Well, I thought you guys were helping me
Yeah,
out.
no.
but-
He's been like helped out now, and he's like draped
Oh.
over Mike's shoulders.
And I'm also
would
going to
also-
ask him for a wheelchair.
Like I said, I remember some of you. I believe.
Go
Started-
get that fat sumbitch, that fat greasy one. He'll know.
This is what
They're
I'm
already
planning
gone.
on doing. Until
I'm
then,
glad you know who I'm talking about.
Frank, maybe you should just stop for
he
now.
actually chuckles a little bit at that. And he says, I think I am now beginning to remember you as well with the voice. Yes, I will go get him. Until then, the battle app is going to be getting you your rooms, and you'll be taken care of.
Thank you, sir. Gracias.
May stays put, though. We're not going to a room. We have business elsewhere, May says.
No, they're going to get Mr. Pittman. Pittman? That's Mr.
Yeah.
White's secretary. He's going to help us. At the very
You-
least, he can get us a car to where we
you
need to
know,
go.
I'm kind of with May here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't like the cut of that man's jib. If you get what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, he's a bit of a strange
Uh,
fellow, but he's perfectly harmless. I mean,
So Frank will go around the other side of the car, away from facing away from the hotel, and just go ahead and draw his pistols and have them just kind of by his hips.
You guys are in the parking garage, just to be clear. You
In
did
the
not
garage,
park
yeah.
out front.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so yeah, he's gonna be out of sight with guns drawn, just in case.
Okay.
Because he's paranoid.
Yeah, no, that's
Because
fair
he's
enough.
paranoid.
Duncan's going to, I think he's going to take his suit jacket off and he's going to walk inside.
Do you need to get somewhere, May?
We need to get him to the Peruvian newspaper as soon as possible.
it is really important, Mr. Sullivan. And I was hoping that maybe Mr. White could help, but
Well,
what do
I'd
you
say
think?
we go then.
Well. Look who it is. You hear. And sure enough, you turn around and you see none other than Charlie Pittman, all probably 280 pounds of him, with his hands on his hips and a kind of a smug look of triumph. Been a while, huh? And it looks like you guys are a little worse for wear.
Yeah, you just look fucking great.
Frank will holster his firearms.
I've been working on my routine. What can I say? But listen, there's a
You
lot
can
of things
say
that
it's
need to
been
be-
going poorly.
Yeah, well, I thought I looked good. He says. Anyways, Mr. White's here. He wants to see all you guys as soon as possible. Although, I could probably argue about maybe a shave and a haircut before then, huh?
Real fucking funny. Where's Willard?
He's up in his penthouse as he always is. Guys,
Oh.
we've been. Oh, okay. What's your detect lies at again? I'm
11.
sorry. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he kind of seems like you're getting the same vibes from him that you're getting from the security guard.
Oh, I thought he was somewhere else. I thought he wasn't here. That's what you said last time to Mr. Thomas.
That is what I said. However, we've had some changes and adjustments that have come up. It's been pretty busy down here. We haven't been just hanging out. We've been
How
working
far away
too.
is he? How far away is he?
He's about like maybe 5 meters or so away.
I'm gonna walk up to him.
Mr. Sullivan,
I've had a hell of a time here.
I can see that. That's why I'm saying Mr. White wants to see you guys. You want to tell him no? Or you want me to tell him that you said no?
I want you to be right honest with me. I want to like grab him kind of by the lapels.
Well, hey, okay, listen here, all right?
What's going on here?
I don't know how else to say it. Do you want me to write it in cuneiform or something like that?
we just go up, please, Mr. Sullivan.
Hold on. Let me.
I was trying to
me
say that
do
maybe you guys want to take a
quick.
shower before you go see Mr. White, but instead you're
afraid we
being a
have-
son of a bitch.
We have business that's far too urgent for that, Mr. Pittman. Thank you for coming down to meet us. Would you please show us to Mr. White?
Okay,
look
all
at
right, all right.
Sullivan.
This way. Can you let go, huh? Look, I got this suit just dry cleaned the other day.
When did Willard get back?
He never really left.
I thought he did.
Yeah, well, like I said, some things have changed. Now maybe
What
you'll get your
changed?
answers. You'll fucking hear about it when you need to hear about it. I'm not here to play 20 questions. I'm here to tell you guys that Mr. White wants to see you.
Frank's like halfway to the penthouse by now.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, you see, Duncan actually held the elevator for you. Figured you'd probably be following me.
What's everybody else doing as far as May and Mel and
I
Jade?
have taken May's good hand, and I'm sort of not tugging it, but I'm like gently pulling towards Charlie. May, please, just I know it's urgent to get this story told, but
I need a
trust
diplomacy roll.
me. Okay. Trust me, Mr. White, like I said, he's really well connected, and success by 1. He can get us to the right people probably quicker than we can get there with a far less risk. Please, just meet him.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm just squeeze. And then I'll let go of her hand and kind of look around to see if anybody. All right, let's go.
Yeah, she throws an arm over you because remember she's still hobbling.
Oh yes, I will put my arm around her waist and help her.
Okay.
We're like
he's
the
gonna
three-legged person.
follow
We're both.
Frank.
And did she want a wheelchair too? I can get those things.
Yes, if you could, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, just a moment. Well, actually, I'm going to need you to let go of me before I can do any of that, Doctor, Sir.
Mr. Sullivan, you are holding everyone up right now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'd like to get that wheelchair, Mr. Sullivan.
Am I at the penthouse yet?
No.
Put my hand on Mr. Sullivan's shoulder.
This doesn't seem odd to any of you.
Odd as it may be, we can get more answers out of Mr. White than Mr. Pittman. Let's go upstairs. Question him on the way if you must, but we need to move.
All right. I'm not letting go of him, but I will drag him to the elevator.
Okay, he's going to try and fight you on this then.
Just slapping.
He can try and fight.
Okay. I need a strength roll from you.
Just straight strength.
I think so. I mean, you don't have him like actually grappled.
Success by 6.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's getting dragged.
I was thinking if Charlie beat you in a string, like Loft.
I mean, so, some security guys are going to come up when you enter the actual hotel proper and say, "You need to let him go, sir. This is a business establishment." Yeah, so can you lay off, Doc, please? I don't have a beef with you.
Why are you so grouchy all the time, Mr. Sullivan?
Hold on. I'm just let me look at my stuff real quick. I'm not Oh, I don't think you got anything to worry about, Pittman, as I kind of like let him go. I'd never strike a woman anyway.
You're really asking for it, Doc. You're really asking for it. He shoots his cuffs and straightens his necktie.
You want to take this outside really quick?
I'd rather just you go outside and fucking sit out there for a little while.
Stop it for the love! Mr. Sullivan, just calm down. Mr. Pittman's just taking us up to see Mr. White, alright? Maybe he had a reason for lying to you. Maybe he didn't. It doesn't matter right now. We have other things, more important things that we have to do. So just calm down and let's go up and see Mr. White. This is ridiculous.
Hmm.
You pick a fight with everyone we meet.
Then it'd be out of character for me not to pick a fight, wouldn't it?
Well,
Good thing I'm
act
still
out of
myself.
character sometime.
Let's
You might
go.
find that
I'm
people
sick
like
of your
you.
bitching.
Oh, hush.
All right, we are going to get when we're going to go upstairs, but before we do that, when you guys get into the lobby, the security are going to approach the district chief, and they're going to say some stuff in Spanish to him, and May is going to stop.
I'm gonna stop with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Me too.
Just for Reggie cannot move himself with the wheelchair right now, so
I love the
I'm
idea
just-
that you're just
I'm
you're just
I'm
calmly
sitting
sitting in the parking garage, like, where is everyone? Push
Oh.
me!
You're just with
Yeah.
one hand pushing a wheel and then the other wheel, and you're just going in very
Just
small little.
beep.
Deep, deep. Sullivan can push you, right? I'm pushing
No, he's
May.
been pulling Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
I will say a bellhop will push you if no one else will.
Or Mike, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Mike will. Yeah, Mike will do that. Thank
Oh,
you.
good.
But Mike will absolutely come to a stop if the district chief is being stopped.
Uh-huh.
And May is going to start arguing with some of the security guys in Spanish as well.
What's the problem?
Seems to be some kind of misunderstanding, Mike says. And he steps away from Reggie and starts also conversing in Spanish with them.
Where's Pittman?
Pittman is he's there.
In relation to me.
Oh no. After you grappled him, he's keeping at least a few meters away from you.
How about from me?
No, he's yeah, I would say he's not paying as much attention to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put myself between the previous district chief and the other people.
I will say that they're not like brandishing guns or anything like that. No one has had a piece out except for that one guard back at the beginning, and he's long since holstered it. They're saying that the district chief isn't going to be talking to Mr. White.
Why is that?
Yeah, I was going to get to that, Charlie says. So, the conversation's for Americans only. And, he's not exactly American.
And
But they
you're
said
saying,
he can stay in a nice room while he waits.
you're saying I'm not allowed either?
You're American, right? He's American, right? Mike says, well, he does have like that accent thingy, but I would assume he's American.
I'm just gonna stare at him.
Do I get a sense that that Charlie's being fucky right now? Like, is this
You have
something
body
that,
language,
that
I'm assuming,
Mr.
is that what
White?
you're wrong?
Yeah, I would like to roll a body language. I want to understand a little bit more about his motivation here. Success by
I rolled for you.
6. Oh,
I rolled for
sorry.
you.
Could I use mine though? Because look at what I did though.
Because
See
it's
how
a lot
nice it was?
better, probably.
Yeah. No.
Brett, that's cheating.
No, I have already rolled for you.
It's fine.
So the vibe you're getting is Charlie's really uncomfortable with explaining this after you guys grappled him and seemed pretty paranoid. So he seems very uncomfortable, but you don't. I mean, yeah, like you're not getting any like evil, sinister like grins from him or anything like that. He's not like cackling in the background.
Okay, so he's not pulling a Janeway. Gotcha. Okay, I'm holding the wheelchair with a death grip with one hand and a lighter grip with the other in preparation to grab Charlie if he tries to run or do something weird.
Listen,
But
he can wait. He can wait in the hall if you want, but he can't be in the room with Mr. White. That was an explicit thing. The ambassador's there. He said that strictly there's no, it has to be Americans.
Then he and I will wait outside then.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you could go if you want.
May, can you tell the same story
If
that
I go,
Mr.
he
Ramirez could
goes.
tell?
No, I can't. That's why it's important for him. Otherwise, we'd have to go back to Talara to get my notes that I hid.
Mr. Pittman, if there's one thing that I understand about Mr. White in the few interactions I've had with him, it's that he is a man who gets quite angry when he misses out on a good story or information that could completely change the status of the mission. Do you really want to be the person that stands in between Mr. Ramirez telling Mr. White what he absolutely needs to know? I mean, is that worth risking your job?
Listen here, lady. If anyone's going to tell anybody about how Mr. White is, I think I'm pretty qualified. I've been working for him for a while now. Trust me, he might like a good story, but what he really doesn't like is when he tells somebody to do something and they don't fucking do it. Pardon my language.
You think, Mr. Sullivan?
I mean, if Mr. Sullivan or Dr. Sullivan wants to wait outside, he can wait outside. That's up to him. Otherwise, security is going to make sure that nothing happens to Mr. Ramirez during this conversation, and then that's that.
Oh, I told you there was something going on here.
It just seems I should have listened to you. Is the only reason that Mr. Ramirez is not allowed because the ambassador is in the room?
No, he's not allowed because Mr. White says so.
So all we need is Mr. White's permission then. And it seems to be that the barrier is the room. So why don't we bring him up there and talk to Mr. White with him outside the room and see if he changes his mind?
That's not how this works. He waits in another room. Like I said, it can be on the same floor, it can be in the hallway, but he can't be in the room. That was what Mr. White said.
That's what I just said. He waits outside the room and we see if Mr. White changes his mind.
Brett, how can I do a body language on the guards or soldiers, whatever they are? I want to see, are they like tens?
The vibe you're getting is that
12.
they're pretty relaxed. None of them have weapons out. None of them have like their hands near their weapons. Some of them seem a little tense with the arguments. However, they're kind of looking to Charlie for like instructions.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over. Who is down here still?
It's
Obviously-
everyone but Duncan and Frank.
No, I followed Frank a while ago.
Oh, and Jade, I guess. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I am going to walk over to Mel then and just whisper something to her. But not even Breck in here.
Oh, wait, that means I have to now do something.
Hold on.
Did you send
I'll
them
just type it out.
Shameful. Just shameful. I'll remember this, David.
Yeah, he'll burn all your possessions in a. Oh wait.
Yeah, David and I are friends on
Hey,
Discord now.
He'll cripple you. Oh wait.
secrets.
Yeah.
I know I did that to myself.
I see the 3 dots.
Nice legs you got there. Would be a shame if they didn't work
Yeah.
anymore.
It's like you have one good leg. How does none sound to you, dude?
What limb do you want to start
Yeah.
with?
Yeah,
I
dude.
believe was the line earlier.
Yes, yeah.
Absolute psycho, dude.
I kind of regret not recording that a little bit.
As this is all happening, Reggie,
Mel will nod.
for the love of God, can we please just go meet with Willard?
Let's do it.
Okay. And we pull guns and pew pew pew. No, I'm kidding.
No, we'll go up. I think the preferred area for Mr. Ramirez to wait is in a room as close as possible to the room that we will be in.
Well, that's good because that's literally what I had planned. However, we spent all this time back and forthing over it.
I meant to say that out of character, but I like it. Well, then good.
Oh,
Why
I'm
don't you take us
sorry.
there already?
Mr.
I
Pittman,
don't know why you're stalling so much, Mr. Pitt.
I'm just wondering, when's the last time you got punched in the face?
Jeez,
Save it.
you guys. All right, let's go, vamos. And security follows you guys up. And yes, when they get outside Willard White's room, they will take the district chief to an adjoining room.
Oi. Oh, I thought we were gonna wait out in the hall here.
Can you make up your goddamn minds? One of
Yeah,
you says
I
wait in a
did.
room. One of you says wait in a hallway. How about we do what Willard White says, which was in a room?
Yeah, so Frank's been talking to Willard White for 30 minutes now.
I know. I'm trying to jump to you. However, I'm like
Because they're
waiting
halfway through a
to
game of
have to fucking
poker.
roll initiative on these guys. So, I mean, security's going to lead him into a room.
Okay.
I'll follow
Before Charlie leaves us, I'm gonna ask him, Mr. Pittman, if you don't mind, I know we haven't really, if you can look at us, obviously we're not very well nourished. Is there any chance that you can maybe arrange some food for us?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. I was kind of hoping I was going to organize that while you guys were showering and getting cleaned up and stuff. But, well, you'll have to wait a little bit for food. But, yeah, I can get that happening.
Thank you. Just continue waiting.
All right. Let's go, people. Let's go. And he gestures towards everyone to go to Willard White's room. Does anyone not go?
I go with the district chief. I don't trust what.
Okay.
I'm not liking Charlie anyway, and I'm getting bad vibes from him and the.
All right, then we're gonna rewind by about 30 minutes as Frank knocks on the door and enters. A bellhop lets him in. Well, goddamn, Frank Washington, you look like hammered shit. Willard White says.
I feel like it too. Took a couple to the chest armor. Ain't feel too good.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And oh, it's you, he says to Duncan. I'll be honest, Duncan, I'm a little surprised and somewhat disappointed you didn't meet an untimely demise. And Duncan says, yeah, thanks. Frank, how come you caught 2 bullets or whatever and he didn't catch one? He doesn't even got blood on him.
Well, Duncan practices what I like to call strategic backline positioning.
You're calling him yellow.
Little yellow.
Duncan doesn't say anything, just lights a cigarette. Jade, you enter at this point, or you're ushered in by a bellhop. I do want to point out there is 2 security guards outside. However, like they're not, they're just standing around.
And I managed to get her back in one piece. Mind.
Yeah, Professor Callan, how you doing?
I've been better.
Please let me help you get a seat. And he pulls out a chair for you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah, and we
And-
got some ornery chink with us too. So mission success and whatnot.
Excellent. Oh, y'all met the ambassador before, and he gestures over towards at the end of the table. You see is U.S. Ambassador Wesley Jones.
Frank does like this kind of like runs his fingers through his hair and like holds out his hand, his greasy, filthy, probably blood-coated hand.
He the man is smoking.
Nice to meet you.
He's smoking his pipe and he shakes your hand and says, "Good job, son.
I'm not afraid of a little blood, I see.
I saw plenty of it."
Glad to hear it.
So where is everyone else? I don't know. I sent that fat one to go get them.
Yeah, last I saw, the doctor was trying to like fight him or something. I don't know, seemed kind of stupid, so I just done come up here. Figured you might want to know what went on.
You hear the deepest sigh of exasperation from Duncan as he like rubs his temple. It's just like fucking.
Oh yeah, and old Zipper didn't want to come up. She's crying, screaming in Spanish about something, I don't know, and then she's all pissed off.
Well, we're gonna wait till all this gets handled, till everybody gets here. I got important things to discuss. I want everyone here. I don't like to repeat myself, and I don't like others trying to repeat for me. Y'all get yourselves a drink, calm yourself. Use the commode if you need to use that. I imagine I probably caught y'all as you're coming right out of the car.
Yeah, pretty much. Which, well, I mean, that's what he's gonna do anyway. Oh yeah, the van got set on fire by a bunch of thugs, so we're gonna have a little bit of like requisitioning and stuff because all our shit's gone.
Yeah. All right. He just waves that away.
Jade's gonna go try and slowly or slightly wash up in the bathroom.
Okay.
I do warn you that Chinaman, she's real pissed off and ornery. Real hard to get her to, I don't know, do anything worthwhile. She's kind of fucked up too. Probably needs a doctor.
That's why I told you, Frank and Duncan. I'm sure you got some instructions too. That y'all had to bring her no matter what.
We did.
Yeah, and y'all handled it well.
I was just letting you know. I mean, she's probably gonna be all pissed off when she's in here. Yeah, that bitch got temper finer than frog hair.
I don't rightly know what you saying to me right now, Frank, but I hear you. I hear you.
Pissed off like you done watered a cat.
All right, I kind of understand that one at least. And yeah, so see, I think you guys will probably imbibe. Jade, as you finish kind of washing your face, I want to say you looking in the mirror, Jade, you're horrified at what you see. I mean, you feel like you've changed, like on a molecular level. Like it's like your eyes feel different, and I mean, like you can like the mud and stuff in your hair and everything. Like you, for a moment, you're just kind of just like staring at yourself, and it's not. I think until probably you break out of this trance when you hear like the door open again, and you hear like all the other people talking as they're ushered in.
When I hear them, I'll just come out then, I guess.
Okay.
While she's in the bathroom before everybody comes in, we'll bring up.
Oh yeah. Um, this I don't know if you want to wait for everybody for this, but yeah, you might need to talk to Duncan because
And I know Duncan's standing right there.
Yeah.
he decided to canoe somebody's head right in front of old Jade. She ain't take that too well, predictably. It could have been handled with a little more grace, made it a little more difficult to manage. I can't control him none.
Willard looks at Duncan and says, "This true, Duncan?" And Duncan says, "Yeah, we were interrogating 2 assassins." I don't know, Frank. Sounds like hard times call for hard measures. But
Yeah, we was interrogating 2 assassins, but you ain't have to canoe the man right in front of her. You know she's squeamish. Ain't built for that shit. Could have let her get in a van or something. You ain't had to do what you did. And then you act like an asshole when I talked to you about it. You gotta keep everybody together.
I saw it as well, Mike says. All right, well, it sounds like we can have that discussion later. Looks like everyone's here.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, they had to die, but we need to be smart about it.
Hello, Mr. White.
Hello, Miss Hendricks. It's good to
Hey.
see you among the living, although it looks like you had a bit of a brush with death yourself.
Oh, I'm fine. I fared well compared to some.
It's
May I
Reggie
present?
sitting in the wheelchair.
Yeah. May I present May Kobashigawa, back from a rather harrowing journey, and I absolutely hate to do this, but sir, there's somebody else that you really do need to talk to before we get into this conversation. I think you would really want to talk to him, and I try to give him a pointed look. Especially knowing that the ambassador is in the room. Mel's not just kind of like looking over at him. A little
I'm
bit.
well aware, Miss Hendricks. Thank you for the information. How about y'all have a seat? Get some food in you. Y'all look like you're skin and bones, especially you, Miss Kabashagawa. And he pulls a chair out for her, and she
She's in a wheelchair. I think.
well, yeah. I mean, she can walk, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
just she just moves very slowly.
She
She pointedly sits in a different chair.
See, I told
right.
Mr.
you.
White, Mr. White, I truly don't mean to be unprofessional or disrespectful, but
But
if
you
I
gonna
might
be
just,
anyway.
if I might just say one thing to you, just quietly in private, and I will whisper in his
I need a
ear.
diplomacy roll from
Okay,
you.
absolutely, yeah. I'll get up. I'll go walk over next to him, and I'll go to like, may I whisper something to you?
I need a diplomacy roll
Yep,
first.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm doing it. Just
Because
quick a second
that
there.
will definitely
Oh,
impact.
success by 5. Okay, success. Thank God.
He says, "All right, the rest of y'all order some food, get yourself some booze. Charlie, you're gonna be serving drinks all day, so you best get ready to start pouring. All right. I don't want to come back here and find there's a untouched glass. Otherwise, I'll fire your ass for such an offense." Charlie says, "Yes, sir." And Willard will guide Miss Hendricks to a side room.
That's a good boy, Charlie.
And Frank's gonna get next to the door and listen.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry. The district chief is with us. We found him. He has information. I know you know this, and I know you don't want to talk to him, and you have your reasons for that. But he has information against Philip Roth. He might be able to take him down. Not only that, but something that could blow up. Potentially something that goes to even our government. And I hate to say this, but just knowing that fact, I don't know if the ambassador, if you know him well, or if he's trustworthy, but May and Mr. Ramirez were very insistent we did not go to the embassy and that we go to reporters to report this. And, sir, I trust you and I trust your judgment.
Well, then you're going to have
Can
to
we
trust me
please
a little
talk
bit.
to him?
I will speak to him, but not now.
Okay. Thank you,
What
sir.
I
As
need
long
you
as
to
you get to
do,
talk to him.
and he as you like go to step away, you feel a somewhat surprisingly powerful grip on your shoulder. What I need you to do is I need you to keep your friend, Miss Kabashagawa, under control.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, she may not like what's going to be said at this meeting.
Okay. I don't like the sound of that, but I understand, sir.
All right.
And I'll go back out. Not.
And
How much of that did Frank hear?
Not much. In fact, none of it.
Womp womp.
They seem to be whispering pretty hard, pretty quietly. And I mean, you could make out that they said some stuff, but that's about it.
Frank's gonna give a little stank eye to Mel.
She does not look happy.
Then Frank is relieved.
Me.
And yeah, so Lord White will sit down and say, first and foremost, I want y'all to know y'all did a good job. Did the Lord's work out there. I could tell y'all been through it. I mean, shoot. Well, Mr. Thomas over here looks like he went to World War II and back, and came back for seconds in Korea. So, first and foremost, I want to thank y'all for that. Y'all did good work. Now, I know that there's a big whirlwind of stuff that's going on around here. I'm aware of some of it. So, before I get into any of this, I gotta know: did y'all really stage a prison break on a military island garrison thing? That just I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh
Wait.
boy, I gotta hear the play-by-play of that at some point, Frank. That just sounds way too cool.
How?
It was pretty good. Well, except for the bullets in my chest. Other than that, it's pretty good.
Caught him there, then, did you?
How did you learn about that?
I think it's time for me to say my piece. It's getting late, Mr. White, the ambassador says. Because I think that's fair enough. Ambassador says, I want to credit each of you. As Mr. White said, you've served this country, America, quite well. And I wish to stress that what's happened to you all, especially you, Miss Kabashagawa, it's the saddest and most unfortunate thing. Terrible, terrible thing. But sometimes one has to look at the bigger picture and think about how things, the second and third effects. I've got quite a bit of experience in that field. I was in Italy during the 30s, and I saw what happened there. We're currently fighting a war against communism in other parts of the world, and we have to be mindful of a lot of the things going on. Earlier today, I spoke with Mr. Roth and other representatives of Standard Oil. They have explained what happened, and I understand the role that you all played. I wish to stress again, and he looks specifically at May, what happened to you was terrible. It was so terrible, in fact, that what I'm asking each of you to do now is going to be even more painful and hard than anything you've done thus far. What I'm asking you to do is to pretend it never happened. It just didn't happen. Now, the district chief, he's going to be looked after. We're going to take him in. He's going to get a new life. He'll be taken care of. He'll never have to worry about a threat again to his safety. And by tomorrow, you all will be on a plane out of here. May shakes her head. You son of a bitch.
What did he tell you? What did he
He-
say?
The ambassador stands up and takes his pipe out of his mouth and says, "There's a lot of things at stake here. It's difficult to explain. I wish to apologize in advance if it seems patronizing. The U.S. has a market interest in Latin America. One of those interests is in Talara, with Standard Oil leading the way. They've been taken care of quite a bit down here. Mr. White, Mr. Thomas, I'm sure that you both are aware of what role oil plays down here in this part of the world, as well as the role that we have in making sure that governments stay afloat. The issue is that Standard Oil has admitted that they were a bit guilty of going to the extremes. I was there," May says. "I saw it all. I heard it all. This isn't about saving democracy or about saving or fighting communism. This is about lining pockets. I was there at the meetings," she says.
May.
No, you need to hear.
It's not
I
the
was there with the district chief when this fat guy shows up, flanked by Manuel Sanchez and Zapata. They wanted to push out their own people so that Standard Oil could buy up more
Hey.
land, so then Peru could just buy more.
That's enough, May.
No, it's not.
Look,
People are dead. People are dead right now.
I know. This isn't the place. This isn't the people.
I can't stop you from going to the press," the ambassador says. "What I can say is that you'd be doing me a personal favor. You'd be doing America a favor. But it's going to be your call. I'll be speaking with the district chief later, tomorrow morning, and I'm going to try and convince him to do the same."
When he said be doing America a favor, did that feel like a threat as to say, and if you don't do this, you would be an enemy?
This is very different, dependent on how you want to address this from a skill perspective. You could do politics, you could do body language.
I kind of feel like it's a body language. I'm trying to understand if that anything changed in his tone of voice
Okay.
when he said that.
All right, I'll roll for you.
It's at 13.
Do you want to spend a lounge token?
Yes.
He doesn't sound threatening. In fact, he sounds almost pleading.
Okay. Does he? Well, I understand where you're coming from, Ambassador, and May. We'll talk about this. And I try to give her a look that's like, oh God, I don't even know how to describe it. I want to communicate to her. We will talk about this. Like, we'll scheme about this.
Willard White says, I want to be clear. The district chief is going to be my personal guest here in the adjoining room to my penthouse. He's going to have security around the clock. No one is touching him. And then at noon tomorrow, that'll be when he makes his decision. Now, y'all can talk to him if you feel as needs necessary. Y'all can't bring guns in there, though. I know y'all saved him technically, but it would be kind of embarrassing if somebody got to y'all. And we've already had that issue, unfortunately.
And you will listen to him. Right, Mr. White? To everything
Yes.
he has to say?
I'll hear his story. But I tell you right now, and I don't mean any disrespect to Miss Kabashagawa, I have to put my country first. I did it in the 50s. I did it in the 40s. I think it's embarrassing. Actually, no. I'm not going to be diplomatic here. No, it's fucking shameful. That's what it is, he says. And the ambassador raises a hand and says, I'm well aware. But you have to remember, too, Mr. White, we would do the same thing for you. We have to think about the bigger picture.
Well, no, I'm not saying what you're saying don't make some sort of sense, but I would be hesitant to believe that Willard White would be hiring, gangster drug dealing thugs to burn our van and try to kill us twice. Or torture some, poor lost zipper head. There do be a bit of a difference, I reckon.
The ambassador doesn't say anything to that, and he doesn't look at you.
If it were me, I'm not a smart man. I'm born in the swamps. I'd say maybe you need Standard Oil for sure. They got lots of influence. They got that big old oil field. But I bet you don't need Eli Roth too much. I'll bet if he weren't in the picture, somebody else would replace him pretty quick. Yep, that's what I'd think.
Bill Roth is going to have to deal with whatever he's dealing with, Mr. Washington.
Yeah, well, you see, the problem is, and once again, I do not disagree necessarily.
Frank, yeah.
And
Frank, close your trap. Now's not the time.
Well, Philip Roth's probably going to try and kill us, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, he seems like a grudge-holding kind of man. That's my only point.
Mr. Roth has already been dealt with, Mr. Washington. I'll
Oh,
leave it at that.
most excellent. I retract my comments. Carry on.
And what of Manuel Sanchez and Zapata? Are their crimes allowed to go free as well?
Listen, I'm not saying that they get a free pass. I'm just simply saying that the United States of America wants to make sure that we shape this message and how it's addressed, this matter.
So you suggest for the good of the country, we remain silent.
I wrote a body language for you. He is exactly saying that they're going to get away with it.
I see. And so
What?
too should we turn a blind eye. The good of the country.
That's what I'm asking. Mr. Thomas, what do you think about all this? You got shot up all sorts, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd prefer to have a moment alone with you, Mr. White.
Sounds fair enough. You just look over at like Reggie, who's like in a
I'm
fucking like
fucking
drooled
comatose.
out. Just
tell you.
state.
I will tell you right now, I'm fucking Reggie's pissed right now. And
Stephen
he's
goddamn
just, like,
Hawking over here.
he's holding it in right now, dude. Reggie's just letting everything happen right now, but he has some words, dude.
It's all right, Cyborg. We got your back.
And then, so with that, the ambassador says, "Thank you for your time. Enjoy your meal, and enjoy the rest of your time in Peru." And
Thank you.
he departs.
Mr. Whiter, we did lose quite a bit of our items. Are we free to leave and go shopping? Is it safe to do so?
No, well, not right now. Listen, I'm not the type that's going to beat around the bush. I'm not a politician. There's a reason why I'm successful in business and why I'm probably never going to be running for political office anytime soon.
The ambassador's gone, right?
Yeah. The Standard Oil got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and they came forward and admitted that they got their hands in the cookie jar. However, they're waiting for the hammer to drop. It would be beneficial right now if one of y'all got turned into street pizza while you're looking for a new dress or buying yourself a new hat. My recommendation, if you need anything overnight, I will have people personally get it for you. Anything that y'all lost, you let me know and I'll cover the expense. That's no problem. Now, Duncan, you and... Oh, yeah, that doctor. Where'd he go? But anyway, any case, I'll cover y'all as well. Consider that a gift of the government.
I keep hearing you guys talk about losing something. What are you guys talking about? What was lost?
In the van. The fire.
Yeah, you were
Everything's burned down
sleeping.
except what we were
We
carrying.
lost everything.
Yeah. Anything that was in the van is gone.
Jade, you heard Sullivan tell me earlier that we didn't lose anything, and I had everything. What do you mean we lost everything?
He lied. We lost everything. They burned
He
the
lied.
vans.
You lied. I was sitting right beside you, and you didn't say a single word to me.
Technically, I didn't lie.
So everything I had in the van is gone.
Yes.
They burned it to a crisp, Mike says.
We all lost everything.
I'm just... All right. And I'm just put my head down.
I will put a hand on his back in empathy. So, Brett, I don't know if you saw my message earlier. We can talk about it later.
Yeah,
And,
no, I've got
I'm totally
that.
fine if it's gone. Yeah.
No, I've got that figured out.
Okay, excellent.
I'm body languaging Duncan, by the way, for
Okay.
his reaction to what the ambassador's saying. I assume he's like, yeah. But
He seems pretty stone faced. He's staring at the ground, and he's got his arms crossed. He has a drink next to him, but he's not even sipping from it.
Mr. White, I know your dedication. Excuse me. Sorry. Mr. White, I know your dedication to your country is very strong. And what the ambassador has told you does make a lot of sense from that perspective, but what we saw there, they were crimes against humans. Sorry.
Y'all need
smoke weed.
yeah, you need to lay off the cigarettes and the booze there for a little bit, I think, Mel. Listen, I'm aware of what I understand, all right? Trust me, I've seen some horrors myself. But there's a couple things. First and foremost, most of the people that suffered were Peruvian. But that's the government's responsibility. Now, I get it. Standard Oil's part of that, but Standard Oil's admitted to it. They're going to get some punishment back in the States, for sure. At the same time, though, if this goes to the press, it's game over.
Game over for who? For the U.S. interest in oil there?
El
Or
Presidente,
just for
I would
Standard
assume,
Oil?
Mike says. He says,
So it's
our
about
Peace
political
Corps
protection.
representatives on the ball. It's not so much what Standard Oil did, it's about what the Peruvian government did. May nods with like red rimmed eyes.
Why
and, like,
do we need
kind
to
of some
protect the?
tears.
Yeah, why do we need to protect the Peruvian government?
Well, because instability will probably kill a couple more million people. That's
so
what
much
I'd
about-
reckon.
Not so much about that. But Charlie, you tell him. I need a drink. He goes to pour himself a drink. Charlie steps forward. So, don't know how familiar you are with the history of Peru. This country's not really used to democracy. It's kind of a new thing. El Presidente is essentially working the pilot program of what a democratically elected leader looks like in this country. They've had elections before, but they didn't really take all that well, and well, they just finished with a military coup not too long ago, and that didn't work out too well either. This is a big country, Miss Hendricks. If democracy fails, then the alternative would probably be either military dictatorship or the return of communism, and neither of those sound all that appealing at the moment.
And like I said, millions of people dead.
But how does this all factor in then? The kidnappings, the lies about communism rising up, Standard Oil, Philip Roth, how does that all connect together? What's the benefit?
The benefit is we keep things the way they are, Willard says.
So it's
If this gets out, the current president's finished. The military's already been chomping at the bit to try another coup. This would be the exact excuse they'd need.
so
Well-
why are they kidnapping people? Why are they pretending there's communism? Is it just to clear people out of the region? Why?
Well, Willard White kind of stammers a bit, and May says, I can tell you why. I was there.
I look at her.
It started out with just some simple, nice visits to various homes. People from Standard Oil would show up. They would offer a pittance for a property. And if you said no, maybe some scary things would happen. Guys would show up around your house in the middle of the night. Maybe you'd find that your property got messed with, something like that, something to scare you. I remember seeing it when I was there. I'd hear stories. And then one day I was sitting with the district chief and we were discussing things. And Zapata showed up, that underling of the president. He said that there was going to be a change in things around Talara. That communism had risen again, and the guerrillas were starting to show their faces, and the only people that would really be able to protect things was going to be Standard Oil and a return of the military. The problem was the district chief didn't buy it, and I didn't either. And he was vehemently against it. And so he rallied many of the people against these arguments, saying that there was no threat and that there were no signs of it. Until one day, after a long week of work, I came to visit with the district chief. It was a Friday, I remember. And the new district chief was there, sitting in his chair. And Zapata said that we needed a change of leadership, he said. We need someone who will take the threat seriously. But I'd already spoken to people. And the district chief had already spoken to people. It's all this shell game. See, this is how it works. And she like set out some drinks as kind of an example, like some tableware. Standard Oil owns the property out there. They bought it a while back. And this was back when Peru didn't really have much voice in taking care of its own people. So Standard Oil bought a bunch of property, and with the rise of the new president, and will return supposedly his argument that he wants to bring Peru back to the people and help with infrastructure and stuff, he told Standard Oil that he's going to take the property back. And Standard Oil was fine with that because when he said take, he meant purchase. But here's where it gets fun. You see, the massive purchase that would come to Standard Oil's property would come from the Peruvian government. Which means the more property Standard Oil has, the more they can sell. And wouldn't you know, the district chief got his hands on documents that showed that the Standard Oil had written the president in as a silent partner in this process. Essentially, he was going to line his own pockets with a substantial percentage of the sale. So he was going to essentially have the government pay himself millions of dollars. Plus, of course, the massive inflated prices that would go to Standard Oil. It was all a scam. There were never communists.
Mm-hmm.
People got chased out of their homes. People got executed on the streets for being socialist sympathizers. The only reason why they didn't touch me was because I was an American. They couldn't touch the district chief because he had the documents hidden away in a place that only I know of. But we don't need those documents since the district chief is still around.
But they did touch you. They touched both of you.
Yeah, well, and I do agree this is all a tragedy. But I would remind everyone that the whole reason we were here in the first place is for the professor, Kobachigawa.
That's unfortunately a good point. Frankly, we're here for your dad, he says to May. He says, there's so much more than that. How can any of you claim to be on the side of good when such evil happens?
Are you telling me you'd rather sit around here and futilely try to help the Peruvians against the corrupt government to save your poppy?
No, I'm saying that I'm going to go talk to the district chief. We're going to put this all in the papers. We're going to bust this wide open.
No, you're not.
Oh, are you going to try and stop me?
Ain't no try about it, little lady.
Willard White's going to raise a hand. Frank, she has the right to try. However, Ms. Kabashigawa, I would ask that you reconsider. At the bare minimum, we need you to help find your dad. She said, I'll help my dad as soon as I finish what we started here.
Your dad might be dead by then.
May, that is right. Your father's been missing for quite some time. He disappeared.
My dad wouldn't want me to give up on this.
I know.
And frankly, neither would yours, she says to you.
I know. I'm not saying we're giving up, but this is also something that's important right now. And we can't do anything. Mr. Ramirez is stuck here until he's debriefed. And it's dangerous for us to leave, so let's shift our focus to talking about your dad for a little while. And we can get back to what we're going to do about everything later. Okay?
Can't deal with this today. I just can't. And
You
she
wanna go
gets
back?
up. She gets up and goes to leave. And
Maybe we talk in the
Charlie calls
morning.
after her. We do have a room prepared for you, Miss Kabashagawa. Please don't leave the prep. Okay, she's gone. I
Oh,
need to. And he waddles after her.
I'm going to go too, but can we discuss the professor in the morning?
I would say that we definitely need to. The ambassador was right in this aspect. Willard says, if well, I guess regardless of what happens, we have to get out of the country. We've burned a lot of bridges. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, y'all. Y'all did real good. I'm real proud of y'all. Y'all slung lead down range. You put some bodies in the ground that frankly probably deserved killing. So, like I said before, I wasn't lying when I said I thank y'all for what you did. Mike doesn't say anything and gets up and walks out.
Thank you, Mr. White. I'm going
But
to
I gotta
take you
stress
okay.
this, Miss Hendricks, he says as you go to leave. I'm telling you, I can't force y'all to see things how I see it. But you have to think about what the ambassador said. We got bigger fish to fry.
I understand, Mr. White. You don't have to worry about anything from me. But I am not certain I will be capable of stopping Mike or anyone else. But I will talk to May.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I will go I'll go try to run after. I'll follow Charlie's smell.
Okay.
Try to find where they went and go see May.
All right.
Private time.
Duncan will he'll step forward and he'll set his half finished drink down and he'll stub his cigarette out and he'll simply look up at Willard and then he'll turn and leave. I wish I had something more positive to throw at y'all for doing a good job out there. Shit, if it was up to me, I'd throw a raging party and such, but, well, frankly, some of y'all don't look like you can really do much dancing at the moment. No disrespect there, Mr. Thomas.
Even if I could dance right now, I don't think I would, Mr. White.
I wouldn't imagine so. Frankly, it doesn't, yeah. No, I'm not all that chipper about it either. I will say this, though. Our next destination's Hawaii.
Oh, before Hawaii, we need to talk about Roth.
I reckon we do.
Seems like a good tomorrow conversation. We're all beat to hell and stanky.
Right. I ain't against I've been on a farm or two. I've definitely been around smell, but I don't think that y'all need to endure it any more than y'all have. But, Professor, you've been darn quiet over there. You all right?
It's a lot to think about.
I reckon so. Well, all your old rooms have been kept in good order. I'll make sure to have some clean clothes and stuff brought to you, at least to cover y'all for the next day or two. Might not be the most stylish, but it'll work for now. Once again, though, Willard grabs his drink. I raise my glass to y'all. Y'all did a good job out there. I'm proud of all of y'all. Yeah, pleasant night.
Oh,
Is there? Sorry. Is there a drink like near Reggie that he can?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just gonna drink it in the with the idea that I'm gonna be going to sleep soon. So
Yeah.
Frank's gonna be the last one to go to the door because he's then going to not go
Well,
out the door.
I mean, you stay in the same area. You live in the adjoining room to him. Like
Yeah, that's
you
true.
share the same
Yeah,
you
yeah.
share the same suite. However, you know not to ever go into Willard White's like bedroom and stuff unless he calls for you.
sorry to bother you, Frank, but do you mind bringing me to my room real quick,
Oh,
Mr. White?
I got bellhops and stuff that can handle that for you. They'll take care of you, Mr. Thomas, unless you wish to speak to Mr. Washington.
Yeah, no, we can, like you said, we can discuss Roth later, but we need to talk about it.
All right. Yeah, and yeah. So I mean, bellhops will come and definitely take you to your room,
Good.
and they'll help you get in bed. And I mean, frankly, if you tell them like fucking bathe me, like they will do that. So
Yeah, I'm 100% going to have them help me shower and get
Stroke me like
For
that.
everyone or just Reggie?
Yeah.
I mean, just to
A
be
tip?
clear, I mean, well, to be clear here, well, I mean, no, well, the bellhops will do pretty much anything. So, I mean,
anything.
to be clear as well, like Reggie, when you go to like get cleaned and stuff, like, you will be offered illicit services too, probably.
Yep.
So, this is the '60s in a third world country, ostensibly. So,
Reggie could use a good handy J. Mm-hmm.
Picturing like a flip book of Polaroids. Just like, see anything you like.
When everybody leaves the room, Frank will turn to Willard
Like, well,
because Frank has security clearance. I think he's the only one.
mhm.
you care to share what's really going on here?
I mean, we laid it out. The military's gearing up. They don't like us, Frank. In fact, they fucking hate us.
Unsurprising.
It
What kind
said
of timeline we looking at?
if that little one convinces the district chief to stay here and fight the good fight, we best be out of the country within a matter of days. If it ever comes out that Standard Oil did what it did and was participating, America ain't gonna have a home here for some time.
Well, hopefully Mel can control her, but I don't got much hope. Like I said, she all pissed off.
Well, I'm gonna be honest here. She got a right to be.
Well,
I don't like it at all, but at the same time, it ain't really my business. I love America, but I'm also like, we are going to be out of here regardless of what happens. Tomorrow night, we are leaving for Hawaii, and we ain't coming back to Peru. At least, unless me and Mr. Thomas are going to be scavenging over the corpse of Standard Oil.
Well, I reckon that's pretty much my feelings. I just, we're after Kabachagawa. I ain't too worried about what happens here, I guess. But, the old wheels of there needs, I think he needs surgery.
We got some good doctors out in Hawaii. I don't recommend putting anybody under the knife around here.
Well, yeah, it sounded like that'd be a bad idea.
Because we could have plenty of time to recover in Hawaii. And then from Hawaii, we'll be going to Hong Kong. But
No.
I got a task for you. I know you looking a little mangled. But you got my personnel if you need them. Miss Kabashagawa's coming with us to Hawaii, whether she wants to or not. If you got to take a blackjack to her, you do it. But she's coming.
She be on that plane, one
Right.
way or another.
I don't want it to come to that, mind you. Trust me, she looks like she takes a blackjack. She's going to go down for the count for good. But at the same time, we need her on that plane. We did all of this for her.
Yeah, we just gonna have to consider that. Well, if she's being combative, there's a good likelihood Mel's gonna try to punch somebody. She gets emotional about it.
She's got good qualities. She's a good kid, Frank.
Well, either way, I'm just telling you how it is. That's what's gonna happen.
Push
She
comes to
gonna-
shove, Willard says, and he sips from his drink. I can always terminate our contract. But I'd rather not right now. I like her.
Well,
She reminds me of a lady I used to know.
hopefully she can get that other one to play ball, so to speak.
One can only hope.
Although I do find it interesting that she's so much more concerned with these foreign weirdos than she is her own pap.
I think she's caught up in the moment right now.
She gonna have to get out of that moment or she gonna die.
I reckon.
I
mean,
reckon.
look at Mike Meshach. The guy's been down here so long, he might as well call himself Peruvian.
Well, Mike's kind of a freak, but what that boy gonna do when we leave? I reckon ain't gonna be too safe for him neither. They all know him by now.
I reckon if he don't stay here, he's probably going to go to another country where they speak Spanish. I looked at his file. He's a good man. But I also reckon he's probably going to do what the ambassador said. Peace Corps needs State Department. Even though it'll probably kill him to do it.
He ain't really got the stomach for this shit anyway.
Well, that makes sense. They do call it the Peace Corps, Frank. They ain't supposed to be killing folk.
I reckon not, but well, Duncan's gonna be a problem, I tell you that right now. It's only a matter of time before he does something real bad. I can feel it.
He got y'all alive still.
He ain't
We'll see what
done
happens.
shit. That boy ain't done almost nothing but cause problem. Ain't even willing to talk. Won't work with the team. Hell, he even fight with Sullivan. I don't know how to make him work together.
He ain't my employee, Frank.
Well, I know that, but I'm just letting you know he's kind of a problem.
Then you're going to have to keep an eye on him.
He might need a blackjack too one of these days.
Maybe. I suppose a lot of folks do when you think about it, Frank. I suppose a lot of folks do. This has been The Missive, a GURPS Cold War adventure actual play series created and developed by Brett Calhoun. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to drop us a note in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to seeing you on the next one.